Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, the deal's finally done. Tommy Kahnle, no, of course not Tommy Kahnle. We're all talking about Aaron Judge. Finally signed the contract with the Yankees, which we all knew was going to happen. More than I expected, actually, but it's going to be $360 million. So, so if you need a loan, go see Judge. $360 million, 9-year deal. So now, I guess, if you want to do the quick math, that's $40 million per season. Again, it's pretty much what we heard Judge was looking for, at least to match Mike Trout's $35 million a year. Well, now the Yankees have done $5 million better than that. So now Judge, the highest position player right now in the history of the game. Again, a little surprising. I didn't think 360 was a big number. I figured it'd be a little bit more like the 330, 340. But nevertheless, I guess maybe it took an extra year there. Again, we're hearing all sorts of rumors leading up to this where it was going to be 8 years and 9 years. Maybe the Yankees had to toss in an extra year there just to compete with some other teams. So get into the deal as well. Yes, of course, Tommy Kahnle back in pinstripes. And he was with the Yankees a couple of seasons ago. A little up and down, but nevertheless, he's back. I think it was a good pickup for the Yankees. We'll get into all that stuff. And make sure if you're listening to this wherever you are, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. And we've got a long off season still to go. I'm sure there's going to be some more moves by Cashman, as well as, Cashman has got a contract himself there. So plenty to go before spring training and everything. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast. So, Aaron Judge back. I mean, I don't think, no one's surprised here. I pretty much been saying over and over again. It's pretty much you see everyone's body language and the way Cashman was talking, the way Hal was talking, the way Boone was talking. It looked like it was just going to be a matter of just, lining up all the X's and O's together to finally get this done. Didn't seem like he was going to go anywhere. And I know, yes, he entertained some of the teams, took the trip out there to San Francisco. And then really late, almost yesterday, you were hearing some rumors, that possibly now San Diego might have been players as well. Actually, funny enough, John Heyman actually jumped the gun a little bit the night before he finally made the decision, saying that the Giants deal was definitely done. And then obviously, I don't know where his sources were on that one, and then kind of looked a little foolish after, because then soon after the judge or the judge camp officially announced this, they're going to stick with the Yankees there. So, and then then we also heard as well as with San Diego as mentioned, supposedly they came in with an offer about $340 million, so about $20 million less than the Yankees were. And, could have been an opportunity for Judge out there. Again, he's a West Coast guy, so maybe he might have been entertained that. As we all know, the Padres, an up-and-coming team. Got Machado there, Soto. Imagine if they added Judge, how that lineup would have been. And, it would have been pretty cool lineup to watch. But nevertheless, happy he's back with the New York Yankees there. And as I mentioned, if you check the YouTube channel version of the show, the latest episode kind of focused on Cashman. I guess I'll just cover it here as well, getting his 4-year deal, which you knew was going to happen the same way. I mean, he was literally giving a press conference while his contract expired. So you kind of figure that, if that's the case, then it just shows how deep his roots in here and the relationship with Hal and Steinbrenner family. I didn't, even though a lot of fans were calling for Cashman to leave and everybody wanted to clean house and everything, I didn't feel like he was leaving. So now it's official as well. Before the Judge deal, Cashman signs a 4-year, I guess you call it extension, to stay as GM and I guess vice president of baseball operations for the Yankees, kind of in the current role for another 4 years. They haven't actually disclosed the amount of money yet. Not really important. Again, it's kind of off the field matter, but nevertheless, Cashman will be around as well. And you kind of knew that was going to be the precursor. That was probably what was holding up the official Judge deal. I'm sure there's negotiations going on, but you figure once they signed Cashman and made it official, then it just kind of looked weird to sign Judge and then Cashman still doesn't have a contract as well. It's like, all right, it's going on here. So you got to say, they were lining the ducks up. So once Cashman, once that deal was done, which is it was 2 days before, then soon after, it was almost within 48 hours, the Judge deal was officially announced. So you figure that was kind of the precursor. So they took care of Cashman, took care of Judge, 1-2, bang, bang. And then we'll see where else this goes in. I guess they had to kind of move quick on Rizzo just for the fact that, possibly Houston and some other teams were looking at him. So I guess they just wanted to lock him up quick as well, just to keep him from floating away there. So Rizzo's back, Judge is back. And of course, they mentioned earlier, Tommy Kahnle. The Yankees signed him for a 2-year deal, $11.5 million. I think it's a little high there. I mean, I think Kahnle at this point, he's 33 years old. Now, he had surgery in 2020 with the Yankees, so really didn't pitch in that final COVID year there. And then he ended up, I think he had an opt-out clause, so he opted out. Ended up signing with the Dodgers, but he didn't pitch that much with the Dodgers in 2021 at all, and then just pitched a little bit last season. Only threw 12 innings, so not really a big sample size there. Low ERA, 2.8. But I just think the fact that, they like Kahnle, he has experience here. 33. He's not old, but he's not young. So 2 years is not terrible. Again, they might have overpaid for him a little bit, like just for the fact that I don't see why his asking price would be that high. Yes, he's a veteran, but it's like he's kind of a little out of he should be more in desperation mode. So I don't see why the Yanks had to give him 2 years, but nevertheless, whatever. So we make a little bit about a little bit more than $5 million per year. And it was Kahnle originally came over, in 2017. It was that big 3-player trade with the Chicago White Sox. It was Kahnle was kind of like, I guess he was part of the package. Yeah, it was Todd Frazier, Tommy Kahnle, and then David Robertson making his return to the Yankees. That was back in 2017. I think at the time the Yankees were really just looking at Todd Frazier to bring him in for third base, and I guess they were able to get Kahnle and David Robinson here. And it was Kahnle, if you may remember, during that 2017 playoff run, especially against Houston. He threw some good innings there. He was actually probably one of the Yankees' more reliable men out of the pen. Then, whatever reason, 2018 was kind of very bumpy for him. Had a high ERA around 6 and just whatever, couldn't get it going. A little bit better. He had a good bounce back in 2019, and then, as I said it before, got hurt in 2020 and had to be go for surgery. Didn't play at all there. So really, his last season for the Yankees was 2019, and it was pretty decent. Had to bounce back for whatever reason. It was kind of out of whack 2018. Just never got off the ground. So again, he has the experience, has pitched in the playoffs for the Yankees, and was, during the 2017 run, was, pretty reliable there for the Yankees. So I don't mind having him back. And he's kind of a zany guy, clubhouse guy, if you remember. There would always be videos of him in the clubhouse doing crazy stuff, like doing slip and slide, in the clubhouse, or doing, or if it's like a rain delay, do something goofy on the field. So, there's a bit of a character there, kind of a little comedy relief. So I'm sure, with the Yankees and now everything was with tweets and Instagrams and TikToks and all that stuff, I'm sure there'll be little comedy shows going on with Kahnle and Nestor Cortez. So I'm sure they'll be putting some skits together, stuff on the Yes Network, and they'll probably milk that for, just with Kahnle's personality. But again, a hard throwing right-hander, good off speed pitch. But again, come off surgery from a couple years ago, so maybe he probably doesn't have the velocity that he had the first time around with the Yankees, but nevertheless an effective pitcher. So, and it's what the Yankees need. I mentioned before, the Cashman just should keep bringing in arms here. Again, we don't know how Kahnle is going to work out long term, but bring in guys like that, just stack up the arms, because we just saw how guys went down last season, one by one, and it's just we need a deep, deep bullpen. Probably almost, it's probably almost important than just part of the starting rotation out, just the way the game is. The way these pitches is pretty much only go like about 5-6 innings now. So you need that deep bullpen, and there's going to be injuries. So keep stacking up Cashman. So the first one to go there is Kahnle. And for some other news around baseball, kind of affects, some other pitchers went off the board there. So Jameson Taillon, he was a free agent as well. I thought that 50-50 chance they might bring him back, but you really didn't hear too much noise on that. Well, he eventually signs with the Cubs. So it's a 4-year deal for $68 million. So he's getting $17 million per season. Again, is he really worth that? Probably not. And he's decent. He was good with the Yankees. They got him from Pittsburgh. Had a decent first season. Kind of the first season was cut a little short just because he had that that weird ankle injury with the using blood transfusions and all this stuff, the platelets. And then last season was rather effective for the Yankees. Actually led the team, at least all the starters, in wins. But I guess he's not really a guy. At best he's maybe a third or fourth starter, probably more of a fourth starter. So. If the Yankees are going to spend money in an area, I would rather them, spend it on someone like Carlos Rondon. And it's just the fact that not spending money on Taillon maybe does open the door to the Yankees going after Rondon. Again, I just think that would be better for the Yankees than Taillon. And, Taillon, I wish him luck, no ill will. Made a name for himself with the Yankees, and now he's getting paid. So he kind of auditioned himself. Having a really good season for the Yankees this season, and now he's going to get a nice 4-year deal, and that's pretty much what at best he's going to get. And he's going to be over there in the Cubs in the National League, and it'd probably be a better situation for him. Just probably not having to face the American League East. So he'll probably have success out there the way we saw Jordan Montgomery have success. Once he went out to the National League Central as well. So maybe those two might be actually locking horns. Cubs and Cards actually, guess the second and third, best rivalry in baseball behind Yankees, Red Sox. And for Judge, as I mentioned before, you knew he was sticking around there. None of us should be surprised. I mean, right after, the season ended, like him and Stanton were at the New York Marathon. I believe Judge's wife ran, and then Judge had some sort of charity gala in New York, and it was in New York, and a bunch of Yankees were over, and even most recently at the Monday Night Football game, the whole thing, Judge was there in the Tampa uniform. And, of course, the Yankees complex is literally across the street. So all these little signals were like, you just knew he was going to stick with the Yankees. And I really didn't think he was going to leave at all. Only team I was really worried about was maybe the Dodgers, just because they stupidly like throwing money around like crazy. So that's the only really threat. Seemed like, again, San Diego and then Giants maybe made quality offers to him, but the Dodgers are the one I was really worried about that might happen. But again, overall, I felt all these little signals he was coming back to the Yankees. Even Hal said pretty much, look, we'll just, whatever it takes, we'll find the number out. So I felt as long as Judge wanted to be back, they were going to put it together and get him back. So that's now off the table. And now for the Yankees, again, it's great. Rizzo's back, Judge is back. But, as I mentioned before in the latest YouTube episode, the team still got swept in the second round there. So it has to be more than this. There's got to be some more moves there. You're hearing also, Cashman maybe, kicking on the doors with the Pirates. The Pirates actually making Brian Reynolds available, 27-year-old switch hitter, hit 27 home runs, age 27, so a lot of 27s right there. But switch hitter, throws right. But the most important thing about him is his flexibility. He can play all outfield positions. Kind of did a little bit of all for the Pirates there. So, that would be a good upgrade for the Yankees. We know Yankee history. They love their switch hitters. Whether it's, Nick Swisher, Teixeira, Posada, Bernie Williams, Mickey Mantle, if you ever heard of that guy. So it kind of, fits the Yankee lineage there. So if they could somehow make that happen, that'd be great. So you're going to need to upgrade there. And again, if they could bring that starter, Carlos Rondon, the left-hander free agent from the Giants, that would be a major upgrade. That's where you say, all right, you improve the team. And then from there, Clay Holmes is going to start the season as the closer, and hopefully he's healthy. Michael King seems like he's on track to be back. So if he could kind of, pick up what he did last year, he was kind of, you could consider maybe one of the best setup men in baseball, and just keep adding the arms. Loaiza is going to be there. He took some major steps, really for the first time, really, pitching the high leverage innings in the playoffs. And, he was pretty much spotless. Can't really blame anything on him. Peralta as well. So, but still, add arms like Kahnle, and they get it. I would say 2 or 3 more like that. Just keep adding arms like that. And then, hopefully that rounds out the bullpen there. And then, then you have a team to move forward with. Then, of course, you can have a full season with Harrison Beta in center. And we saw, him in the playoffs. He was great with the Yankees. So now if you get a full season of that, that'd be tremendous. And you just got to see what's up. Obviously you got the concern still with, DJ LeMahieu. We, still not confirmed yet, what he's going to do with the foot. And it seems like he's going to be possibly delayed to start the season, or he's not going to be 100% healthy. So you got to worry there a little bit. So we'll see what that goes on. And we'll see if Cashman can do anything, make any moves. If he moves Donaldson or Hicks, which I'm sure most Yankee fans will be in favor of, he's going to have to include some talent with that to take those guys. So you might have to say goodbye to maybe some like Oswaldo Cabrera, or maybe package Gleyber, who's not really making much money, and Donaldson, and you send them elsewhere, something like that. If to take any of those bad contracts, it's going to have to include some goodies on the Yankee side to, just for someone to take that. So we'll see what Cashman does with all that. Now, supposedly, as the Judge negotiations were going on, the Yankees were saying that they weren't really talking with anyone else about any other deals. So I guess they were just 100% focused on Judge. So I guess they just grabbed Rizzo real quick, and everything else was kind of mum. So now that Judge is done, you might see the Yankees now be a little bit more aggressive, and we might start seeing some of these moves, such as maybe trading for Reynolds, or trading for someone else, or maybe some 1 or 2 more free agent signings, just to beef up this team a little bit. So that's the episode. Judge is back. It's official. So yes, 9 years, $360 million. Again, making him the highest paid position player in the history of the game. And of course, after a couple of years, I'll say when he's like 33, 34 years old, he'll have like a bad month or two. And then people are going to make, oh my God, why we sign him for a 9-year deal? Well, that's coming, but worry about that later. At least right now, let's enjoy his prime years. So Aaron Judge and New York Yankees. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure you subscribe and get notified when new episodes go up. They'll be going up quite frequently, because I'm pretty sure the Yankees are going to be busy now that this Judge deal is done. Over and out.